That was a heck of a win by our guys. That's a great team. Obviously, freaking championship coach and Steve, and a lovely, lovely human being. But I got to take my hat off to our guys for a few things. The first one is, for the first time, we didn't have a shoot around. We had a pregame walkthrough, so this was new for our guys. And we threw some things at them in the pregame walkthrough. We threw we said we're going to blitz Steph or double team them. And we really hadn't done a lot of that this year. So for those guys to take it from the pregame walkthrough to the game the way they did, I applaud them. The next thing is we ran a box and one a handful of times tonight. I have not talked 1 second to our group about a box and one. We talked about it after timeout, and we kept going to it. And so for our guys to execute something like that when we haven't talked about it for 1 second this year, again, take my hat off to them. The next one is, a team like that, to be able to win 3 quarters is phenomenal. Again, I take my hat off to our guys for that. It is a phenomenal deal. I'm still in a little disbelief that we won 3 of the 4 quarters. And then the last thing for the whole group is just being able to sustain their runs. You know that a great team like that is going to keep jabbing, and then they're going to throw a haymaker. And with the shooters that they have on the floor, with the way they space the floor, with as intelligent as they are, that haymaker can mean 3 threes in a row, and next thing you know, you're down 6. And so for our guys to sustain their runs and take their hits was a phenomenal group effort. Just a fun game to be a part of. And last thing I want to mention, we had a lot of great individual performances tonight, but Domas was a monster. He was a monster in the paint. He was a monster on the glass. And, from you need games like that from your stars in order to get over the hump from time to time. So,
Mike, just when you think about you get the Warriors 3 times in that first 12 games, and having talked to your team a lot over the course of this few weeks, like they really wanted to get a win for you against your former team. What does it mean to do that and get back at 500?
It's huge. That's a great team. They're champions. Championship team, got a lot of championship DNA in that locker room, and so for us to every game get a little better, because like I said, just watching the games, going through the games, we got better every game, and even tonight, if we would have lost at the end, we did some really, really good things that are encouraging long term. I said this to you guys already. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint, and we want to try to keep taking as many steps forward as possible, knowing that we're going to take a few back every once in a while. You just hope you don't take too many backwards. So, great win, great team effort. I'm happy for those guys. They should feel good about the way we're playing, especially about tonight versus a championship level team, and it just shows that our ceiling is high.
Keegan was just in here mentioning, everybody's bought in, obviously, and you mentioned some of the different things you did in shoot around. I know you had the silent offensive session in practice yesterday. How do you view your team's buy-in? Like, where are you at in terms of how bought in the guys are, and particularly how they responded since that 0-4 start to everything you've been saying to them?
Our theme is all in, and that's not just from our players, but from management, business side. Everybody in the organization has to be all in for this thing to work, and our group is. We did the silent script yesterday, and all my coaches went at me after practice, and they went at me because the silent script lasted 36 minutes, they said, because we weren't doing a good job. And so I made them do it over and over and over and over again. And so when practice was over and I went upstairs, I was excited because they finally got it at the end. I was all giddy. And my coach, I could hear them. They were kind of whispering. And so I walk into their offices, and I'm thinking, they're going to be kind of happy with me because we got it. And I'm telling you, the last few possessions look really, really good. And I think Luke Laux might have been the first one. He started shaking his head. And I'm like, what? He's like, Mike, you can't do that. And I'm like, what? You can't do that. What? 36 minutes. I said, what was 36 minutes? Silent script. You can't. And then they all piled on. They just started. I said, screw you guys, I'm leaving. And I walked out. But the message was across to me. And so I say that because it was a long time. That won't happen again, fellas, okay? But if they weren't all in, we would have had a revolution before the game. And it didn't happen. So they're all in.
Yeah, we were waiting in the other room while you were just so you know.
Okay. I apologize to you
Coaches
guys,
could have
too.
called us. How did your team react to you when you got to the locker room? Because it seems like everyone is really excited to get this win for you.
No, they were great. I mean, everybody was patting me on the back and all that. Even the fans, they were excited about it. They were like, way to kick your team's behind and all that. At the end of the day, I enjoy winning. I love that those guys felt that way for me. A lot of love and respect from each one of those guys. But I tell you what, man, I'm so excited for those guys because of the work that they put in and the connectivity that that group has to be able to get a win this early in the year over the champions is big. It's big for the organization, but it's extremely big to help with the belief, and a team that truly believes is a dangerous, dangerous freaking team.
Mike, Domas brought up in the final 4 or so minutes De'Aaron Fox's block in the corner on Steph Curry. There was a timeout right after that. Kind of a two-part question. First is, how important was that moment for the momentum shift? And two, what was the message during that timeout that led to that closing?
No, find bodies. Find bodies and keep giving multiple efforts because that team is going to run you and space you and share the ball. And if you stop on a play, they're going to find the right guy and they're going to hit a dagger three. And Foxy did it. He challenged a shot, huge block. During the timeout, everybody kept encouraging one another to continue to fight defensively. But just as importantly, on the offense end of the floor, we needed to make sure that we got a good shot every time. We got a little carried away, throwing the ball around a little bit, but Foxy settled us down and got us some great, great looks down the stretch.
Mike, I've heard Domas say a couple times that he feels like his role in this system is maybe more of a facilitator role. And I'm just wondering what's your view on that, if that's accurate, and if it maybe has taken him a little bit of time sort of to find exactly how he fits and what he should be doing night to night. This is I think 5 double-doubles in the last 6 games, so it seems like he's getting more comfortable there.
No, he is. And, he and Foxy, they got the green light to go hoop. We have parameters or concepts that we play with, and stars are capable of figuring out how to shine, not just individually, but help their teammates shine within anything that you throw at them. And with what we're trying to do, it's a mixture of him facilitating and him being a pick and roll guy, and he's got the green light to do either or almost every time down the floor. And so we think he's that good. We think he has that good of a feel, or he's that intelligent. And we think his decision-making is not only good, but it's quick. And if the floor is spaced right, he's going to know who to get the ball to and when to get the ball to that person. So offensively, it's centered around him making a lot of decisions and guys playing off of that. And at the end of the day, he's going to find ways to score. Because he's that good. We're going to put him in enough pick and rolls where he's going to roll and find holes. He's going to pop when he wants to pop and be able to shoot that three. He hit 2 big ones tonight for us. But again, he's got 8 assists. I don't even know how many assists he's averaging on the season, but that can go up. You know, I would not be surprised if he collects a couple of triple doubles this year, just from the standpoint that he's got the ball in his hands a lot, and he's a decision maker quite a bit. You know he's going to rebound, and you know he's going to find ways to score. So part of it is correct, and he's done a heck of a job continuing to grow and understand what we need from him night in, night out.
Yeah, Coach, you guys have seen a lot of zone throughout the course of this year, and it looks like you're implementing an offense. When you see that, how well do you feel like your team has responded to dealing with those different defensive coverages?
The neat part about it is, you know, what we do half the time against man works extremely well against zone. And so our guys are getting more comfortable when they bring the ball up the floor. They know how to get right into what we do versus man that works well against the zone. And that's just a testament, again, of those guys growing and learning together on the fly, especially in a short amount of time. They're doing it quicker than what I thought.
Mike, to go off of Domantas' decision-making, you know, in the fourth, Darren kind of has it in the beginning. He's running the offense. You make your run, they get the lead back, then he goes to the bench, it goes to Domas, Darren comes back in. Not many teams who have two stars can just switch where the hub of the offense is just on a snap like that. Has that been something you focused on, or is that more of a credit to the stars being capable of kind of shouldering that mantle?
Well, the first thing is it's credit to those guys. Those guys are playing at a high level, and they're trying to get their teammates or trying to help their teammates play at a high level as well. But we always would like to have one of the two guys on the floor if we can throughout the course of the game. And so the way that we have our minutes structured or substitution pattern structured, that's kind of how it works out, knowing that they're either both on the floor together or one of the two's on the floor. Thank you, guys.